Hi, welcome back to the You Chill, We Chat podcast, where we ramble for hours on end and you relax. Yay! Welcome. Hi, what's
You,
up?
you
What are
don't
we?
you don't let me relax.
Well, you chill. You have to talk. You don't ever get to relax. We don't relax. But, anyways, what is this podcast episode about? Do you want to say it?
What's it about, Tanner?
Ghosts.
Yeah. Tanner, you just smacked me with your microphone. Be careful. Oh my gosh. I have this little like skeleton plant holder that has like a plant like coming out of its head. The plant is dead.
Ew.
So it's sad. Sorry. I know that's not what we're supposed to be talking about. Who wants to start? What should we start with? Oh, my hair.
I have had some ghost encounters.
Oh my god. That's so scary.
So
God, that works.
I'm Pisces, which is one of the most intuitive and psychic
Oh, shut.
signs. And
Yeah.
I definitely have a sixth sense that other people do not. I'm able to sense things and see things that most people just don't pick up on. And when I was younger, I had quite a few ghost encounters. As I get older, that intuition and sixth sense perception of ghosts
Okay, what is that beeping?
becomes less and less.
Does anyone else hear that beeping?
I do hear it. What is it?
Is that your drum?
What is
Let's just keep going.
Okay.
So I have a ghost story.
Yes, don't over exaggerate it. Tell the truth.
I will tell it.
Hey, Tanner, go get
How
a cup.
it
Go
happened.
get a cup.
That's fine, I can hold
It's a ghost story about room 217.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you trying to be like having your main character moment?
So, have you heard of the Stanley Hotel or The Shining?
Yep.
So, Stephen King stayed in the hotel over in Estes Park. It's called the Stanley Hotel. And he stayed in room 217, and it's a haunted room. It's a ghostly room, 217. And that's how he stayed there just one night and wrote the book after, because it was so spooky there,
He's such a baddie.
that he wrote an entire book about it called The Shining, and then it was so good they even did a movie about it.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I stayed in that haunted hotel for a weekend.
Yep.
And it does have signs of ghosts there. There's some weird things going on there with the hallways and the way the kind of wind goes through the hallways. You kind of hear some whispering type stuff going on.
Ooh,
But anyway, the
creepy.
big stuff that really happened for me there. So I was like getting ready for bed. This is in the hotel room at the Stanley Hotel. And I was not in room 217. I was just in like a normal room, just one of the rooms, just a random room. I don't know which one it was. This was quite a few years ago. And I checked the alarm and to make sure it wasn't going to go off, because I didn't have to get up in the morning. The alarm was off. It wasn't on. And getting ready for bed. Everything seems normal in the room. It was you not do that, Amelia?
I'm making paper stars.
I know, but it's making a lot of noise.
I'll be quiet. I'm sorry.
And so everything seemed normal. The rooms are a bit old and run down at this time.
Definitely.
And it was really expensive. It's like double or triple the price, because they have like all this nostalgia and famous people have stayed there, but they don't they don't really, it's not nice for as expensive it is. It's pretty run down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, I go to bed. I'm laying there in bed, right? And getting ready to fall asleep. I fall asleep. Everything's normal. And I'm like, kind of in the back of my head, is something weird going to happen? And nothing
Well,
happens.
yeah, you're staying at a haunted hotel. I mean, like, naturally.
You would think
Fish tank
something,
with no fish.
but nothing happens.
Shut up.
So I go to sleep and I'm like, do I shut the lights off? I wasn't, scared at the time. Nothing, it just, I don't know. I felt safe and like nothing
You
was going
felt
to happen.
safe at a haunted hotel?
Yeah, I mean, it just
Girl.
seemed like a rundown room for,
Girl.
a lot of money. And so anyway, I fall asleep, sound asleep, just, like deep sleep, conked out, sleeping away.
Like one word at a time.
And I have a hard time waking up for things. Like, I am not an easy waker.
Yeah, our dog will bark for hours and he won't wake up.
And so all of a sudden, at 2:17 a.m., the alarm goes off. And yeah,
Connection. 217.
yeah,
Wait, what?
which is the same
Room.
room number. So
No, you're lying.
the radio at 2:17
You're
a.m.,
lying. I
it
don't
went
believe
off.
that.
and it wasn't on a station. It was like on static, and it was really loud. It was like, like double. It was like double that noise.
I love that reenactment.
I'm crying.
And
Poor baby.
every once in a while, and I'm trying to like wake up, and this is going off. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, and it's all dark in the room. I can't quite figure, and I'm like, it's, middle of the night. I'm like trying to figure out what's going on. And so I can't quite reach the radio clock thing, and it's going, and it's supposed to be tuned into a station, but it's not. So it's just static, But every once in a while, like words come through,
Ooh.
and I think it's like gently picking up radio stations on random occasions. And it says a few things, and one of them I still remember to this day because it gives me chills.
I think that you're bluffing.
Do you know what the word was?
I
That
don't know,
was
but
said?
you're bluffing.
219.
It said bathroom. And
He's
so I
bluffing.
turn on,
He's bluffing.
and before I can get a
He's
light,
not telling the truth.
this is true.
I highly doubt it.
And before I turn on I've told you this story
Okay,
before.
I know the story of the
I told
radio
you
turning
this
on.
before.
Mom's told me the story of that. I believe that it's a real story, but I don't believe that it's.
I told you this before. And then before I can find a light to turn on, I'm like still trying to figure out what's going on. All of a sudden the toilet flushes in our room.
No, over exaggerating.
It did.
Stop over exaggerating.
It did.
I know it flushed, but it didn't tell you to go to the bathroom. Or
It
Had to go back.
did.
it had to go.
It flushed.
Well, I
Had
believe that it
number
flushed,
two.
but I don't believe that it told you bathroom.
And then, so like the radio is going off, the toilet flushed, and now the toilet's like running, it's filling back up with water. It's like, and the static's going. I mean, our room is going nuts. And so I finally find a light, turn on a light, and figure out how to shut the radio off, and and it was off, so I had to like flick it on and then back off, and like it wouldn't shut off, and like on and off.
Scary.
And I mean, I'm out of it, right? Like I was not expecting this, and I'm in a deep sleep, and so I'm like having trouble like thinking about what's even going on here. Eventually, I get the radio off, but I have a light on. There's nothing weird, like I don't see a ghost, or there's no like person in our room or anything weird like that. It's just, and but anyway, the toilet's like filling back up. It was a real slow filling toilet. Like it took like 3 or 4 minutes for the toilet to fill. Like it's such an old place. I think that water like barely ran in, would refill the toilet. So I go into I'm like, what is going on I better check. I'm not gonna be able to go back to sleep without checking the bathroom. And it's just a kind of your normal hotel room that's run down, where you got one room with a bed and a clock and a table, and then another room for your bathroom. And so I go over into the bathroom, into that room, turn on the light. Everything's normal in there. The toilet's like filling up. Nothing, I don't see like ghost poop in the toilet or anything
Mark.
weird like that. But I do see,
Always have
I do see,
sneezes on this podcast.
I do see Tanner giving a sneeze here pretty soon. See, I told.
That was the best sneeze ever, Tanner.
Aren't I intuitive? And then
So intuitive.
so intuitive.
So.
And so I go back to sleep, and then that was it. But that's one of my. I have 3 ghost stories, and that's one of them.
So do we want to talk to Stanley or do we want to move on from the Stanley?
Talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay, so we toured the Stanley one time because we were staying kind of near the Stanley. Because why not? It's the Stanley Hotel. So the place is really creepy. I'm just gonna say that.
It is.
It's really old and has this kind of like vibe, and it's white, almost like, I don't know. You can find a picture of it if you're listening to the audio or the video. Here's the picture somewhere over here somewhere. It's creepy. It's pretty old looking, and there's multiple buildings like around it. So we went into some of the buildings, and there was this building that we went into that I think was like the,
Which we were very lucky to go into
Yeah.
those extra buildings. Like most
Yeah.
people that stay there don't get
Yeah.
allowed into these like side buildings. You just go in and stay at the main hotel.
yeah. So
and-
we signed up for like a tour because we were staying pretty close to the Stanley Hotel, and we were like, oh, why not? It'll be fun. So we were.
Did the toilet flush in one of those buildings?
No, I wish there was toilets, but there was like separate rooms we would go into. One of the rooms was an old boys' locker room, where I don't know, maybe the boys would go and take showers together. That's really appealing to boys, I guess. I don't know.
That's not appealing to boys. No.
I don't know. It might be appealing to some boys.
Community shower time.
But anyways,
I
it's
don't
like
think
a boys.
most people like community showers. Most people hate it. But
Yeah, I was making a joke.
I know.
I can't be the comedic relief. You have to be comedic relief. Anyways, so we went to that boys' locker room, and the locker room you can't go into anymore. Like the public can't go into, because there has been some crazy things that's happened, and it's pretty run down. There is like, supposedly, the person who was on a tour with us, he was saying, I've heard there was like a staircase up the staircase. He was like, I've heard people and like late at night walking like around on the ceiling, and you've had to go check to see, because if there are actual people up there, they're not allowed to be in this building, and I've had to check, and there's no one here. And one of like his
And the ceiling
colleagues.
was, so he was on the first floor.
Yeah,
and
we
there
were on
was,
the bottom.
There was 2 floors, so the ceiling wasn't like the roof of the. It was like
no, it
in
was like
between
the floor
first
above.
and second. So
Yeah,
he was
it was
first
like
floor.
the next floor.
Hearing room
Yeah.
noises, walking in the floor above him and floor 2.
Yeah, and so also he said that his colleague or his coworker, whatever you want to call it, his colleague was like locking up the place or making sure nobody was in there, whatever, late at night. Something chased after him. I don't want to go too much. Oh, dang. Bless you.
So do you? I find something weird.
I'm still tucking. Okay, please wait one moment. I don't want to go
So
too.
I noticed we're sneezing a lot, and
Yeah.
that's the bless you thing. Do you think that we're like bringing in ghosts right now and like sneezing?
Here's what I
Is there
say.
Some weird thing
Okay,
with sneezing.
we're gonna do it. Everybody, do it with me. No evil spirits, demonic entities, or anything with bad intentions can hurt me, my family, or my friends. If you're here to do anything bad, get out. You're not welcome here. We only accept happiness. We only accept light. Especially during this podcast episode. Get out. Thank you.
I'll just say no ghosts
No
can attach
anything.
to us or follow us. We're just giving ghost
I don't know if it
stories
can
and
really happen, but I want to be
we,
100% safe.
don't
and
want to be
positive.
cursed or none of that. We're just telling ghost stories.
We only accept happiness. We only accept light. So, anyways, whatever. So apparently, this thing chased after our tour guide's colleague, and he basically was like, I'm not going into that building again. He continued working, but somebody else, a guest, took a picture of the hallway and they saw a tall creature with like red eyes, I think.
Yeah. By
It's
the
pretty
way,
scary.
just adding on to this, I don't know why I'm feeling like I'm crying again.
Are you sad?
Yeah, I'm sad. But he was so like the guy was like staying in like the place for like a house.
No, Tanner, you're talking about something different. I'll just talk about that in a moment, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, okay, so there's also, back when the Stanley Hotel was, I think it was kind of a new thing, there was like I don't know, groundskeeper kind of. And he had his own house on the land. He had his own house with like his whole family. And he had some interesting stories that happened. I think he was an older man who was married to someone, and then they had a daughter. I don't remember their names. But their daughter, we're going to call her Beth. It's not her real name, or maybe it is. I don't actually know. But we're just going to call her Beth for now. I'm sure you can look it up. Like, I don't know. I don't know her name. But apparently her name was Beth, and she had 2 kids. She had an older girl, like an older sister, and then a little boy. And in the house, so we went into their old house, right? And the house was decorated with things that you would have seen if like the family was currently living in that household still. Like they had like old pieces of furniture and a stove and an ice box and stuff like that. So there were pictures everywhere of the little girl. Everywhere. There was no pictures of the little boy. Do we want to know why?
Why?
Because the mom of the little girl and the little boy, Beth, we're going to call her, Beth died right after the little boy was born. And the family was probably so in grief that they didn't want to take really any pictures anymore, which is really sad to think about, but, you know, that's what they did. Apparently, I think the little boy's name was John. I think his name was John. Or Joe or something like that. John, the older sister, right? Beth's oldest child, the daughter. She died in like a mental hospital or something. So he had a very interesting backstory. It's sad. I want to say something really fast. So apparently, Beth died in one of the rooms of the house. We didn't know about which room it was. But the tour guide just said, "Oh, we think we know what room she died in." I don't know if you got this feeling, but there was like 3 different rooms on the main level. I don't remember exactly what they called them, but it was like the master rooms, the twin rooms, and the shining room. Because the master room was like the master bedroom. The shining room was like a guest bedroom, but it had like a movie prop. It was all like in a safe and stuff like that, but it was like you could see it. It was a movie prop that they used in The Shining, and the other one was called the Twins or the Twins bedroom or whatever, because it was set up for 2 twins. If you've seen The Shining, you know what that's about. I don't really want to talk about that right now because that's not what we're talking about. But so that's how the rooms were set up. The twins room. At least I was talking with my mom. I don't know. I think Tanner kind of was talking about it too. But my mom was like, "It's so stuffy in here. I'm having trouble to breathe." And I can't speak for everybody, but I at least kind of got a bad feeling about it. I don't know about you or you.
Her phone and her watch died in that room.
No, my phone died in that room. My mom's watch died in that room.
They say ghosts use the energy from the batteries and devices. Like they'll drain your batteries if there's ghosts there.
Did you get a bad feeling in that twin room, or was it just me?
I felt extremely dizzy. I felt like I was going to fall over. I felt sick, like I was going to I felt really awful.
I felt really stuffy and I felt like I was gonna sneeze.
It felt like it was really hard to breathe in there.
Yeah.
We had a little technical difficulties, so we're just going to go back right into it. So anyways, he got a bad feeling from
I
the
felt
house, or was
dizzy.
it the room?
I felt dizzy in all the rooms in there
Yeah.
and sick, and I was fine that whole day. And then when I went in that building, it was like a dormitory type building for the janitor or something.
What we're talking? So there was two different buildings that we're talking about right now.
It was just the one.
So was it the one that it wasn't set up like a house and there was just a bunch of junk everywhere, or was it
It was
the
the
one
one
that was
with
set
like
up
the
a
big
house?
hallway, and then there was rooms attached
So
to the
that was
hallway.
that's the boys' locker.
The boys' dormitory lock area. That's
I'm
the
not
place
talking about
that.
We were talking about the janitor's like building, the house,
the house that
The place where the guy got so freaked out, he
Yeah.
jumped out of the second floor.
Oh, I didn't say the whole story, so I'm gonna say this whole story, okay?
Yeah, that's what I was
So
saying.
he was. I'm sorry. Can you sit down?
Yeah.
So he was like checking. Sorry. So he was like checking out, like making sure everything was locked, whatever. He saw this thing started chasing him. The front door apparently gets like shut all the time, and it gets stuck. This was one of the days that the door got stuck, so he couldn't open the door. So he run up the staircase and like either crashed the window, or the window didn't have like a glass or something on it. But he rolled down the roof. So on the top floor, he went up the staircase and he came like down the roof. I don't know if he broke anything or what happened,
he
but
like broke his arm. Or something.
He was so spooked out that he'd never went in that building again after that.
And also, while he was doing that, a demonic red-eyed, like 7-foot tall being
was chasing him.
was chasing him.
Yeah, that's scary. That's so scary.
Oof.
Tanner. So, anyways, back to the house, right? So we all got bad feelings in the twins' room. He didn't feel good in any of the rooms apparently. So we went and asked the tour guide what room they thought that Beth, or I think her real name was Mary. I don't know. You can look it up. Okay? You can stay if you have the money, the time, whatever. You can actually go and stay at that in that like house, from what I heard at the time that we went. I don't know if it's still that way, but at least go and look it up. It's worth looking up.
There's a golden bathtub.
Yeah, they have a golden bathtub. It's really cool. So, anyways, so we went and asked the tour guide which room they think that Beth died in. What do you know? What room they said?
Twins room.
They said the twins room. That's scary.
Alrighty.
I have to tell you about this when I saw a ghost.
So he's talking about it when he saw a ghost.
So I was Tanner's age, and it was nighttime. I was with my family and getting ready for bed. It's like, why are all of these my stories like at bedtime and bed? But anyway, bedroom stuff. Anyway,
This time.
but I wasn't at a hotel this time. I was just at home. And yeah, maybe it's the scariest time the ghosts come. I feel like we should dim the lights in here.
No, you're not going to be able to see on the camera. We're not going to do that. Just
And-
imagine dim lights, okay?
And so I'm getting ready for bed. I have this really nice like headboard thing above my head, and on it's books and a lamp, and it was really nice. I could turn on the light, have it shine on my book as I'm reading and stuff. So I was reading that night, and then I finish up and put the book away on the above my head in the little bookcase thing.
Were you reading a scary book?
I think I was reading The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, if you've heard of that.
That doesn't sound scary.
It's a weird title, but it's a fun book. Anyway, so I shut off the light. That's a lot of times when ghost stuff happens. But
Dramatic gasp.
so I'm trying to fall asleep and I can't. I'm just like laying there for half an hour. You know, when you're a kid, sometimes you just can't fall asleep and you're just
happens to
laying
me
there.
every day.
It happens to me when I have caffeine in the night.
And so I'm just laying there and can't sleep. I have school in the morning. I'm like, I need to go to sleep so I can do school.
Oh my gosh.
And the rest of my family goes to bed and they fall asleep. Like I can hear my
They're,
dad
like,
snoring in the other room, in his room. They're all sleeping away. And so I'm just kind of wrestling back and forth. And all of a sudden there's like a breeze that goes through the hallway and the air. We had like the windows open just gently a little bit. And a breeze goes through. My door swings open a little bit. And the lights are off. I can't see very well. But this ghostly figure, this old lady, comes floating into my room. And I'm in my bed, like freaking out. Like my eyes are wide. I'm trying, like, why can't my eyes work better in the dark? I'm like seeing this thing, right? Floating. I am I've never been so scared in my life.
Sorry, I had something in my throat.
And
You know who it was.
I do. I figured it out later. So I know where my light's at, right? When you're a kid, you know how like certain things you just like keep track of, and this light was like really important because it would like
But
you'd
you don't do
shut
that
it
right
off
now?
or
You don't
on.
know where your light is?
Well, I do. I know it's like, so I have this like headboard thing above my bed, and then it's full of books, and then it's got
When
that
he was a kid.
lamp.
This was when he was
When I was a kid, it was more common back then to have that type of setup, and so I I know where it's at, but I'm like, okay, if I turn my head, is the ghost gonna jump on me? you know, like what's gonna, like, it's hovering there. It's this like lady, and she's like mumbling, like trying to talk, and it's really hard to understand what she's saying. And so I'm like, okay, can I reach? I think about, can I reach up, turn on the light with my hand, and not with keeping my eyes on this ghost, because I'm afraid it's like I would look away, it's gonna jump on me. So I reach up real slowly, turn on the light real quick, and
Oof, gone.
poof, gone. Exactly. This like ghost was gone. I was like, oh man. But that whole night I couldn't sleep. Like this just really bothered me.
Did you tell
I
your
just
mom about it?
no. I was so scared. I went to sleep with.
Is this
I
like-
left my light on that whole night. And just like, yeah. And so I think I was sick the night. I just said, I'm not going to go to school. I'm sick. And so,
I'm dying.
well, I didn't get enough sleep. And so that weekend, I had this friend David, and I was hanging out with him, and he was the same age as me, and I was like telling him about the story. I was like, I think I saw a ghost, and we were just kids, so it was like easy to talk to. He didn't like make fun of me or any of that stuff. But he's like, well, my aunt died that night. That was the night his aunt died, my friend David. And David would come over to our house and like stay over. My mom would watch him a lot. And so
David, you're such a...
so we were wondering if maybe this aunt came over to like check up on David, because like he was close with this aunt. He was really upset that weekend. He was a bit off, like he
Well,
had
his
trouble
aunt
talking, and yeah. And I was like, well, the weird thing was, is like this ghost lady would try and talk, but couldn't talk very well. Like I couldn't understand anything that the ghost lady was saying. David said his aunt was a smoker, and she died of like throat cancer. And she couldn't talk very well. Like that's what she had died of. Yeah.
I have a story. Do you want to hear it? We've all heard this
Yeah.
story. I want to have a second opinion. I'm going to move the microphone to my mouth so I can actually talk and you can hear me. Okay. So I used to have a little cat. I used to have a cat who was little, I guess. I don't know. His name was Tiggy, and he died. I think I was in like kindergarten. I don't know. I was pretty young when he died. So I remember he died. It was very sad. It was very tragic. Tragic. I can't talk. I'm sorry. It was very tragic. And why do I keep on saying and I probably said and like a million times today. I'm sorry. I'm getting
Put
sidetracked.
a count screen on the
Yeah, somebody do that for me.
Are you
'cause I'm not gonna
nervous?
edit
You
that.
um,
say and if you're nervous, right?
and
No. Okay, so I'm just trying to think what I should say, and I like to blabber on. But anyways, so it was very traumatic for me because he was like, I was pretty young, and I had him. He was around before I was born. I think he was 17 when he died, so he was pretty old. Well, he was a cat. Okay, that's not old in like human years, but in cat years, that's pretty old. Well, not in cat years. In cat lifetime, that's really old for a cat. So anyways, so I remember I was laying in my bed, and I had a lamp kind of on the side to me, and I was like in kindergarten, so I was waiting for my mom, and she was in the bathroom, like probably going to the bathroom or something. I remember it was pretty late at night. It probably wasn't really that late at night. It was probably like 11 p.m.
Shower?
I don't know. I think she was going to the bathroom, but
Because I
maybe.
remember that day.
Tanner, there's no way it can hear you. You're far away.
I remember that day, and I'm pretty sure she was taking a shower.
Well, maybe she was taking a shower. I don't know. But I remember, right? I opened my eyes and I look over, and there was this tall man who was multicolored, kind of like, you know how Frankenstein has like stitches in his body and it's like kind of different pieces of skin? That's how it was like, but different colors. So it was really bright, and I remember it was kind of like transparent. It was really weird. And then there was like either a cat head or a cat sitting on top of this thing's head. It was really weird. And I remember it was like standing against my window, like not my window, my door frame. It freaked me out. I was like freaking out. I was screaming at it. I think I put my head under the blankets and I felt like a cat jumping over me. Scary. And then I turned the light on because the light was right next to me. So I turned the light on and it was gone. So, yeah, I want to add in something else. When I was younger, I was scared of my
Why
cat.
did we do a squeaky chair under Tanner again? That's what I'm wondering.
Just ignore it. I'm sorry.
Like
Don't squeak so
He's
much.
just squeak, 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 squeak.
Tanner, go get your Rubik's Cube.
Well, then it'll be like turning that silly.
Well, I'd
thing.
rather have that than that
The
squeaky.
noise of all that.
So, anyways, when I was younger, though, I used to be scared when Tiggy would come into my bedroom, like at nighttime, because I was really young, you know? And so I'd like scream at him. But the scary thing is I did the same thing when I saw that, whatever it was. Apparently, Tanner's running away right now, but apparently Tanner heard me screaming. I want to hear what he, like, heard.
The Rubik's Cube's going to be even worse, Amelia.
This is what I heard.
What do you, like, remember, though?
You were like, Mom, come out of the bathroom, 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 Mom, please, come out faster, faster.
Yeah, I remember I was panicking.
Yeah, you were like dying.
What, were you just laying in bed as, like, a 2-year-old?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, I just remember that day.
Are you sure?
And
You
I was like,
remember
oh
it?
my god.
I don't know if he remembers the exact date, but we'll say he
I
did.
do, I remember all of it.
Okay, if you say so. It was very traumatizing for me, though.
Tanner used to see ghosts.
No, I didn't.
He did? You don't remember that?
No.
For a whole year, he saw a ghost.
So we used to have this imaginary friend. Sorry I interrupted you, but I would like to talk about it. So that sounded really petty. So he used to have this imaginary friend.
And it
Or
wasn't
apparently imaginary.
it wasn't called Casper either.
It wasn't Casper the Friendly Ghost. It was a ghost that lived under his bed. He was like 3 years old and had a ghost under his bed.
So I didn't know about any of this. I he had been seeing this ghost for like 6 months. No one ever said anything to me about it. And then
Everybody
all of a
was
sudden
always
one
like,
day,
oh, so cute, the 2-year-old sees ghosts.
yeah, they
Ah.
just thought it was like no big deal. So one day I'm like hear about it. And so that night I was like reading books with Tanner and we go to shut off the light. They're like, hey, what's this about? Like, you seeing ghosts and stuff? And Tanner says, yep.
Yeah, I see ghosts.
And I was like, well, like what's going on? Like, is there a ghost in here right now? Tanner goes, yep. And I was like, well,
Very descriptive.
like where's it at? Is it in the closet or something?
Yep.
Nope. I said, well, where's it at? And Tanner goes, under my bed. And so like both of us are on the bed, like we're, reading a book, just shut off the light. And Tanner just tells me there's a ghost under the bed. And I have a sixth sense, like,
Oh
of
my
things.
God.
Like I pick up on stuff. But a lot of that sense now is like gone. There was more when I was younger. And it sent, I had chills like when he said that. I was like, oh, it really kind of freaked me out. And he just thought nothing, it was just like a normal thing because he had seen this ghost and went under his bed.
They
It
were
was
like
like no big
besties.
deal. But yeah, he just was like, it was just a normal thing. So I tried to act like it was, like not that scary.
Like, oh, my
'cause-
2-year-old thing
but
goes.
boy, it freaked me out. I had nightmares that night. But
Nightmares about your child seeing ghost. POV.
But yeah, for a whole year, Tanner would see a ghost
Yeah.
in his room.
Tanner, what do you remember of this? Do you remember any?
You ever see that ghost anymore?
Do you think it was an imaginary friend, or do you think it was a ghost, or what do you think it was?
Imaginary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have imagine. Oh, I do remember when he had this ghost thing. It didn't freak me out, really.
I am freaked out
'Cause I was 5.
now about your
Yeah.
imaginary.
Oh, yeah. So my imaginary friend, it's like some princess dancing mouse or something that came from a book. That was my imaginary friend. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of creepy.
It's really creepy. I don't know what it is, but it's like Angelina Ballerina or something. Angelina
That's it.
Ballerina?
Yeah.
That's it? Oh my god, I'm so smart. I remembered. Hopefully it's still recording. Is it still recording?
It's still recording.
Okay, good. But I had like this mouse imaginary friend that was Angelina the Ballerina or someone.
Very creepy ballerina.
I was like really into being a ballerina at that time of being 4 years old because that's what I was into.
That's what 4-year-olds do.
Yeah, that's what they do apparently. That's what I did. So that was my imaginary friend, but my imaginary friend never did anything scary that I remember. Little kids though, little kids, they can be so scary. I've seen so many. I mean, it could easily just be the parents being like, "Oh, hey, sweetie pie, say you see a ghost in your closet." But there's like, I've seen so many like little like TikToks or stuff like that. That's like little Billy Bob Joel is freaking out because she sees a man in her closet smiling at her, and it's just so creepy. And some of the times the kids are just like, "Oh yeah, there's a man in my closet who smiles at me at night," just like it's normal. It's like, what?
What?
I feel like sometimes little kids are so much more like, I don't know, they don't get as freaked out as easily. Well, sometimes. He was afraid of the Frozen movie where that big snowman comes by and is like throwing snowballs at Anna and Kristoff, I think his name.
And I was hiding under the covers.
He was like scared of that. So, but
Well, he was a big abominable, not huggable snowman.
yeah,
Hey, Tanner, put the Rubik's Cube down, please.
we only like abominable snowmans. I'd rather have him do that than do the bouncing around. Okay, so we have anything else to talk about?
Do you believe in guardian angels?
Probably, yeah. I
Are
don't know.
ghosts bad or are ghosts good?
We're talking about guardian angels right now.
My question.
We could talk about it in a second. Tanner, do you believe in guardian angels?
Yeah.
So I've watched a lot of
Oh.
ghost shows on
I have something to add on the
YouTube.
guardian angels, though.
And
I'm fine.
on these ghost shows,
Hey, I have
they'll
something
run
to
in.
add on.
They'll run
Please.
into good
Please let me talk.
ghosts
Please let
and,
me talk.
and
Please,
bad
please let me talk.
ghosts.
Please let me talk. I was talking to Mom yesterday. We were walking to Barnes and Noble, right? And I was saying Tanner's guardian angel is built different because Tanner, he's like I think you did something that day that you almost oh yeah, he like went flying down the staircase and ran into some black ice and almost like followed and died and all that, but he somehow survived. And then before he's like almost fall into a fire before, like literally he was like rolling into a fire pit one day.
There was
and
like
his guardian angel's built
there
different.
was like
Well,
bricks
the
and then like a fire inside.
It was a
like,
bonfire,
yeah,
like,
bonfire.
And there was a fire going.
bricks
like-
were around it. I accidentally like kind of fell on those
Yeah,
bricks.
he was, like,
and I was
flying.
like, boing!
Yeah.
I didn't fall back down though. Apparently I'm not built different anymore. Or my
Did I ever tell you I have a guardian angel?
You have a guardian angel?
I do.
Who? Me? I
I-
know I'm supportive.
Yargy.
Have you ever heard of a Ouija board? You know what those are?
Yeah.
Tell me you didn't play with a Ouija board when you were a kid.
It's not Super Mario Brothers. It's not Luigi. It's
Bros!
it's a Ouija board.
Please tell me you didn't play with that though when you were a kid.
I did.
Oh my god. Bro,
Yeah. A friend of mine, when I was a kid, Seth, he had one.
Seth,
Such a good
excellent.
idea.
On the Ouija board, do you know what they look like?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do they look like?
They're like these little, like, almost, they kind of look like a board game, like kind of like setup, but it has like this little, like, triangular, like,
Right.
pick, almost, and
Yep.
then, like, there's a bunch of, like, letters or numbers on the board.
And yes and no on the board, and then so you put your fingers on the triangle, and then the triangle is like raised up, and then it has like felt on the leg, so it slides real easy, and it starts moving. Like you have, 2 to 5 people touching this triangle thing, and it starts moving around. You ask it questions, and then it starts moving and it answers your questions. And so that's
Oh my god, we need to talk about the bloody you-know-who incident that
we asked it that night if I have a guardian angel, and it said I did. I have a guardian angel. It even
Slay.
spelt out the name of the guardian angel.
What was it?
I don't remember. I was
Luigi?
like Tanner's age.
Luigi!
Luigi.
Imagine it was Luigi, that'd be funny. But anyways, I want to talk about the Bloody Mary incident that happened. Do you remember? We were at some restaurant, right?
So you said it once. I don't want you saying it any more than that. No, that once was enough. We don't need to keep
Bloody.
repeating the name.
He's so scared of it. Of who?
Well, the superstition of you saying
We're not
it
in the
enough-
bathroom. We can say it a million times. Bloody Mary.
No, stop. You're already up to 2.
We're not.
Stop.
We're not in a bathroom. I wouldn't do it in the bathroom.
Stop. You're gonna
So,
curse
anyways,
us.
I was like in the bathroom, right? I don't know what I was doing, but I was like freaking out, and Mom was in there with me because I was freaking out because I don't know, she was. Anyways, and so she was like talking about something. We were
Don't
talking
say the
about
name.
something, and she said
Don't
it
say the
three
name.
times in a bathroom, looking at a mirror, and then I came out freaking
And
out.
that
Dad started freaking out that we did
That bathroom was so
And then after
spooky.
that,
I
I
can't
said it
believe
3
she
times.
did that.
Yeah.
Purposely.
That bathroom was so spooky.
But no Bloody Marys came out.
Amelia, stop. Stop saying the name.
It's
said
fine.
it 3 times.
I
It's
already
not.
said that no ghosts,
Stop.
no evil spirits, demonic entities, or anything with bad intentions can hurt me, my family, or
You're
friends.
not
if my
supposed
hearers
to
do anything
say that
bad.
name.
Get your booty outside. I don't care if you do have a booty or you don't have a booty.
It's like Voldemort. You don't say the name.
You're supposed to say you know who.
Yeah, you're gonna get us murdered.
Let's see. Do I have any other
Are
I don't
those
really
good
have
or bad?
anything else.
ghost
Oh, yeah.
stories?
I think it depends. I think most of the time, if a ghost, from what my very personal belief is, if you're here for very religious reasons or whatever, like I don't know if you will agree with this. You don't have to agree with me. Just listen. What I believe is that like when you die, I believe in like heaven and all that jazz, but I think that your spirit still like stays around your loved ones. Because there's been so many things that have happened in my lifetime that prove that your spirit kind of still stays around your loved ones. And I don't know. I don't think you ever, like, really leave them behind, if that makes sense. But, I mean, it depends. If you're a good person who dies, I think you would be a fine ghost spirit thing, whatever. But if you're a bad person who dies, I mean, I don't know how that's going to go. But if you're a demon or whatever, I don't think you're good.
Demogorgon.
A Demogorgon.
Demogorgon.
If you don't know what that is, so we were watching Stranger Things, and he's like 10 years old, so he's not that old to be watching Stranger Things. So I kind of like humorize it, and when Demogorgons come on, I'm like, oh my god, it's the Demogorgons! And there's like funny things that happen. Instead of being all freaked out, you can like humorize it.
Yeah, you can.
But anyways, what do you believe about good ghosts, bad ghosts, watermelon sugar?
Watermelon sugar.
Sorry, I'm really high energy right now, and am I like talking and like
I'm
I think ghosts are like people. Most of them are good, but you'll get a few devils in there on occasion.
Okay.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Chat and Chill Podcast. Peace!
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed us rambling about ghosts for half an hour. Hey, get out of the camera. If you have anything to talk about, talk to us, whatever. I think I don't know. That was a wonderful outro. Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to us rambling on. If you have anything to add on, please add on. We'd love to hear your opinions, or your voice, your thoughts, whatever. Peace out. Say bye.
And hopefully next
Say bye.
Bye.
Bye, and hopefully next time our microphone,
Yeah, our microphones have been having so much trouble today. But
and